Today I'm going to talk to you about Pixar's newest movie, Turning Red. Now, this film, unfortunately, exclusively comes to Disney Plus on March 11th. It will not have a theatrical run, at least not yet. You never know, they might throw it in theaters for a couple weeks. They just put Encanto back in theaters for a couple of weeks due to the success of it. So you never know. So fingers crossed we'll get to see this one on the big screen. But for now, it is coming to Disney Plus, and I'm going to tell you why you should make sure that you check this movie out. Let's dive into my spoiler-free review for Pixar's Turning Red. But before we do, if this is your first time here, I'd love it if you take 1 second and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this. Movie reviews, television reviews, trailer reactions, and celebrity interviews. Let's talk Turning Red. Hey, Tessa from MamasGeeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. So I've got to start off by saying that I totally relate to May in this movie. Now, she's a 13-year-old girl, and all of a sudden she realizes she's hairy and she's smelly. And what is happening? It's not puberty. She's turning into a red panda, and I'm not going to tell you why, but there's a whole backstory as to why this is happening. But basically it's puberty, right? Let's be honest. This is Pixar being completely unafraid to dive into puberty territory, okay? Let's relate to that. Every kid can relate to that, all right? Everyone can. We've all gone through it at some point in our lives. So I was very happy that Pixar, found a fun way to put it out there, and it helps kids kind of get what's going on. I have a daughter who's at that age and one who's almost at that age. My girls are 9 and 10, almost 11. And so we get it, right? This is a discussion that's been going on in the family anyway. So it's nice to kind of have Turning Red to lean on. Now, I will say there's a lot of humor here, and there's some stuff that feels like it crosses the line for Pixar. Like, I'm not going to lie, guys, the word gyrating is used several times in this movie. So 13-year-old May, all of a sudden her body is changing, everything is changing, she's realizing she likes boys, like what is happening? And then there's this boy band, right? For Town with 5 members, because of course it is. Why not? It's a boy band. Their name doesn't need to make sense. And this is where I really, truly relate to May. She has her core group of 3 friends. There's the 4 of them. They are ride or dies, and they want nothing more than to go see their favorite boy band in concert. Their parents will not let them, and this becomes basically the premise of the entire movie. How are they going to make money to get the tickets? Are they going to sneak around? Like, what is happening? Now, as a parent, I don't love the whole, like, hey, this is how you can sneak around your parents type of thing. But as May, I totally get it. I did that stuff when I was 13, and I think everyone is going to do that stuff when they're 13, right? You always have that butting heads moment with your parents because, yes, they are your parents, and they've been your parents forever, right? But as you get older, you need to realize, or you start to realize, like, you need to separate yourself from them and become your own person. So that's really what this movie is about, with all the fun of the boy bands and the music and the gyrating and the sneaking around and the humor and just all the kids in general. They go to their first boy-girl party, stuff like that. But really, there's so much more to this. It's more about, finding yourself, being true to yourself, being honest with yourself, and being honest with your parents and your friends on who you are. Now, I absolutely love the 4 of them together, May and her friends. It really reminds me of my friends that I had in high school and friends that I have now, but it really specifically reminds me of middle school, high school, going to see boy bands. That was my thing. I was super into boy bands, and NSYNC especially, but I've seen Backstreet Boys, I've seen O-Town, I've seen 98 Degrees, I've seen them all. I literally traveled the country to see NSYNC, but that is a story for another day. But I find myself in May there. I see myself in May. But I also see myself in Ming, her mother. I am a mom of 2 girls, right? And I get it. Ming's a little overprotective at times, but she really just wants to make sure her daughter is going to be okay, She says, at one point she has this great line, and it's very early on. It was like, I figured if I was with you all the time, I would see the signs and I could be there to help you when you needed it, Stuff like that, like, oh, it gets me in the heart because, like, I understand that. I get it, okay? You're like, it's your baby, but your baby is growing up and you want your baby to do great things and go off on their own. But at the same time, you want your baby for yourself. So I totally get it. So that's basically what this movie is about. But all throughout it, you've got boy bands, you've got humor, you've got a fantastic new style of animation that we have yet to see in Pixar. I absolutely love this animation style. I think it's fantastic. I love bringing in the anime inspiration to it, right? When I talked to director Domishi, she was talking about how the inspirations that came from anime, and you can see it just in this poster next to me, right? There is the whole eyes, the expression of the eyes, right? When she's happy and excited, they're sparkly and huge. She cries big, giant tears when she's crying. You know, just when she's shocked, her pupils get really little tiny. Little animation inspirations from anime like that. Also, they do this, I think it's called isolated motion, where, and you guys could see it in the trailer. I really, really love how they did this. There's the point where the little girl walks out and sees the panda in the bathroom, right? This is all in the trailer. And she just pushes her back in. So that's like the isolated motion of like one thing is happening and nothing else around them is moving. And it really, really works for this movie. Another thing I really like that they did, an aspect that they did, is all of the kids, all of that group of 4 girls, they move together constantly when they're doing things. They don't move separately to show that they are one, they are ride or die. And I really, really enjoy that. But overall, this story is fun. Now, I will say, I feel like it is definitely geared more towards girls and moms, okay? Not to say dads and sons, boys, whatever, won't enjoy this movie, because I think they will. There's enough humor there. There's enough action there. There's enough going on that it's going to be entertaining. I just don't know that they'll 100% relate to it as much as moms and daughters will. There's a lot of great mother-daughter moments, and by the end, I was moved to tears. I absolutely loved so much of this movie, But like I said, my biggest complaint, I think, is probably that I don't think it's going to relate to everybody out there. But you know what? It's on Disney Plus, March 11th. Be sure to check it out. If by the time you get to this review, you've already seen it, let me know what you thought down below. I give Pixar's Turning Red a 4 out of 5. Be sure to give me that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more videos like this. You can follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at MamasGeeky over there, MamasGeeky, and be sure to check me out at MamasGeeky.com. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much to all of my monetary supporters, my members here on YouTube, as well as my patrons. If you haven't joined yet, please consider doing so. We have some really awesome perks, including a monthly Zoom meeting where we get to talk face to face. Thank you again to everyone who supports me.